Hey everybody, welcome back to some more early morning barking, talking about BPD and MPD by somebody that has both. I'm going to tell you a couple of stories now about times when I got angry. And this is actually fairly recent. It's not times when I got angry, it's last week when I got angry. First of all, this is going to be a story about how I was angry at my girlfriend. And I would just like to say, Kat, if you're watching this, I'm not actually angry at you. You did nothing wrong. Please don't feel bad about any of this. It will all become clear. And if there was ever genuinely a problem, I would have said something like a week and a half ago when it actually happened, and it's all fine, right? But I need to tell you what was going on in my head, because this time now, where I'm at the point where I am mentally, having done the therapy, etc., blah blah blah, we've all heard the stories, I can keep this contained in my brain and it doesn't come out. But that wasn't always the case. And if it wasn't always the case for me, then the chances are some of you do this, right? So it's important to talk about. So I'll tell you what happened and what I was angry about, and you can realize that's a stupid thing to be angry about. Why were you angry about that? And we can talk about it, okay? So I have a dog called Paisley. You've heard him and seen him. He's the dog on my channel logo. He's the dog that you hear bark at the beginning of every early morning barking video. That's Paisley. And Paisley was a rescue dog we got from Dogs Trust sort of 6-7 years ago now. I lose track of things like that. And he's a very reactive dog. He had a hard life before we found him. And he has a lot of fear, aggression, especially around other dogs. So when I take him out for walks, he never comes off the lead. If he's ever off the lead, we go to a secure dog field. If he sees a dog on the street, we have to cross the road. All of this, he goes nuts, right? And I had him last week. He was staying with me. I share him with my ex, again, as I've mentioned before. And he was staying with me. And at one point, it was suggested, is it time to take him out for a walk? Does he need to go out for a walk, go to the toilet, whatever? And it was, and he did. And that is the extent of my girlfriend's involvement in the whole thing. She said, is it time for him to go out for a wee? And it was, so I took him out. That's what I was angry about. Do you see that it's nothing? Do you see that it's nothing that anyone did wrong or was horrible? There's no apology necessary for this. Somebody suggested that the dog needed to go out when the dog needed to go out. This is just called being alive, right? There's nothing at all I can be angry about there. If I were normal. Don't comment. And so I took the dog out. And while I took the dog out, we managed to pass 3 or 4 other dogs. It was like prime dog walking time. Clearly, everybody's dog has their dinner when they get home from work, and they go out for a toilet after the dinner. And everyone is basically taking their dog out at roughly the same time. And there was I, walking the streets of Keighley with this super reactive dog. And he was super reacting. Everyone was out with their dogs. So it was a nightmare thing. Look, he's a big dog. He's like 52.8 kilograms at last weigh-in last week. He's a big dog. When he goes nuts, it takes a lot to keep him where he is, right? I'm really the only person in his life that walks him like that because, right, he weighs more than other people. And it's difficult and it would be dangerous and that sort of thing. And I was walking around with the dog, fuming, absolutely fuming, because do you know what? All of this is only happening because somebody suggested that I take my dog out. And on top of that, all of these other people have decided now to walk their dog, causing me these problems. I was absolutely furious. as I walked around. That kind of burning rage inside. I was angry at my girlfriend. I was angry at everyone on the streets with a dog. I was angry at traffic for going down the road and making it so we maybe had to wait a few seconds before we could cross the road. How dare those people be driving their cars when I need to cross the road? All of this anger at the entire world, at everyone in it, at everything in it, at the way the world had decided to be at that time was raging inside me. And the truth is, it wasn't my girlfriend's fault. She did nothing wrong. She asked if the dog needed to go out. How dare I have any emotion about that? Other than, in fact, actual gratitude because the dog needed to go out and it was pointed out to me. That was a good thing. That needed to happen. And how can I be angry at other people who don't know me and don't know my dog and don't know I'm on the street and are walking their dogs, minding their own business, living their own lives? How can I be angry at people just driving their cars down the road? Covert narcissism. Everything that causes me problems and causes me stress is somebody else's fault. It's down to their incompetence as a human being. It's down to their lack of thought, their idiotic behavior. Because it can't be me, right? It can't be me. It can't be just the way of the world. It can't be the way things are. It has to be somebody's fault. It has to be something I can get angry about, something I can, and if I get angry about it enough, maybe I can change it. Maybe I can take control at it if I rage at it enough, if I get angry at it enough. Maybe this situation becomes afraid of me. How stupid does this sound? How ridiculous does this sound? I'm aware of that. But there are times in my life, there have been times in my life where this rage would build up and build up at the world, and out it comes at the nearest person, at the next person who gives me the slightest excuse. And what am I upset about? What is driving this? Yeah, I've given you one example, the dog related things. Yeah, that's one thing, but it could be anything, right? You know, anything that's not going my way, anything that doesn't turn out how I want to, anything that disrupts my flow in some way, that's got to be someone else's fault, right? That's got to be something that somebody's doing to me. Damn them. If I could find out who it is and destroy them, then my life would be perfect, right? No, because you see, it's all in my head. It's all made up. Nobody's out to get me. Nobody's doing anything to me. It's not my fault that my dog is reactive. He had a rough, his puppyhood made him the way he is. And that happened before I got on the scene. And there's nothing I can do about other people walking their dogs. What we're supposed to do, have like a Paisley siren that goes off, you know, don't walk your dog now until the all clear sounds. Paisley's on the streets. What do, you know, how can I be angry at that? But I fucking was. I was absolutely raging. I was absolutely fuming. And all the while telling myself, this is ridiculous. This is ludicrous. What are you angry at? What are you actually upset about? You're upset that you're in a stressful situation. That's it. It's not somebody's fault. It's not something somebody decided should happen to you and they're doing it and poking away going, haha, I'm getting rich. It's just the way of the world, right? It's just life. It's just that day there were dogs out. I had to walk my dog. He's reactive, etc., etc. That's how it goes. I feel like I'm one video away from yada, yada, yada. I'm sorry. But this is covert narcissism. This is what it is. This is that burning rage inside that the world is out to get you, that everything is done to you, that it's not your fault. You're perfect, right? So it must be somebody else. And this is what leads us to the classic, look what you made me do. Right? I've got no time for people who say things like, the classic, look what you made me do, but also this thing made me do this thing. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. You did that. You did that. And I would have done that if I'd gotten angry at somebody. If that rage had come out of me and I'd just shouted at someone. And what the hell would I have shouted about? Because the thing that was upsetting me was ludicrous. It was insane. Do you see now why I said at the beginning, nobody did anything wrong? Nobody owes anybody an apology. That no one did anything wrong. But I can make it feel like they did. And you know what? In times past, if I play this up hard enough, I can get guilt out of people. I can make them feel bad. I can make them feel like maybe they have done something to me. Maybe they do owe me an apology. Because why else would he be this angry if I didn't? It's a way of shifting that stress. It's a way of dealing with the world and putting it into a context that we find easier to deal with. And that thing being, well, things are only going this badly because somebody is intentionally doing this to me. That's actually a lot easier to deal with than maybe you're not good at that thing, or maybe you're not doing this other thing right, or that's just the way life is. Because those aren't great, satisfactory explanations. We need it to be a person. Look what you made me do. Look what you put me through. Look what you did. And yeah, look, sometimes in our lives people hurt us. Sometimes people out there in the world will do us wrong. But in actual fact, real life terms, those situations are few and far apart. Aren't they really? Like, I can't remember the last time somebody actually set out to hurt me. If it's ever happened. And yet, we can blame people. We can throw that. We can just go, there, you did this. And I used to do it a lot. And now I like to think I don't do it anymore. We'll see how good that is, But it's been a long time. I can control it coming out. I can stop it coming out. But it still builds sometimes. It still lives inside me, one way or another. I still want to blame other people for what's happening to me or what happens to me. Or it's this straight up, well, someone must be an idiot. That's why this has happened. I demand to see the manager. And I've always had this feeling. If I rage at something or someone enough, if I shout the right things, I will get what I want. And nothing could be further from the truth. And so, these are the things we work on, I guess, right? These are the things we have to identify we do. And I've been able to identify that I do this. If I'm feeling angry, and I don't know why, the last thing now that I want to do is blame a person. Because that person has not done anything to me. That person is not responsible for what's going on in my life or anything like that. It's a hard one to get over because it involves rage, because it involves anger and this need to do something about the situation that we're in, and that not always being a possible thing. But you can spot when you're doing it, and you can. It seems silly. It seems so easy to identify, and I feel like it's all well and good me sitting here saying it, right? Well, you just identify, and there's no one to really be angry at, and you stop being angry. I mean, yeah, technically, in the same way that football is a game where you just score goals, right? Just kick the ball in the net. What's your problem? Well, it's a little more complicated than that, and so is what I'm saying. There's a whole other team playing who would also like to score a goal and are quite good at taking the ball off my team and that sort of thing, Covert narcissism. Fun for the whole family. Anyway, I hope that has been of some help. Don't forget, check out my Patreon at patreon.com/earlymorningbarking, and indeed YouTube memberships here, well, on YouTube, really. And they have other mental health videos and ASMR videos and that sort of thing. I've just built a Lego model. I've got another Lego model to build. I apparently do Lego now. I don't know. It was just nice to be quiet for a couple of hours, to be perfectly honest with you. Oh, and don't forget, you can book one-to-one sessions with me at earlymorningbarking.com. All of that, check out live. Look, just follow me on everything. Come on. Worship, would you? Come on. Yeah. You take care. I'll see you later. Bye.